Alright, in this video I'm going to show you my gold medal run from Lolingstone Bandit Camp for the wolf medal. So that's the archery. For this one, we need to hit weak points, and then we also need to do headshots. There are 15 guys in this, so I originally thought there were only 13 guys, but there are 15 guys. You need to get 13 headshots, 13 weak points. Obviously, you need to do the weak points before you do the headshots. Now, the first one is this guy that shoots fire. And I found that with this guy, and if you go in the bushes there, then you might be able to stealth him and get a free shot. But if you get his weak spot and then shoot him there, it's never counted as a headshot regardless of what you did. So now I got his headshot. I'm making sure that I'm getting that. That's a good thing. Each one of the headshots is 38 points and then 29 points for the weak point. So you want to do the weak point, then do the headshot. Try to keep track of these guys, so you don't have to be checking a guy that you've already done his weak point. But you can't always do that. Sometimes you have to do all the weak points at once. But I find that depending on the angle, you can. It's easy not to get the headshot. Even if you're sure you got the headshot, it won't give it to you because either it's bugged. So sometimes you just want to wait for them to stand up there. I think I missed the headshot on one of those guys. So actually for this run I got the headshot. So I got all the headshots and all the weak points on this run, miraculously. Okay, so this guy is very easy to do. Sometimes he comes down, but right here he's pretty easy. So you just get his weak point. If they're not shooting fire, or if they're not there's only one guy with a crossbow, then you can take fire from them. So don't worry about taking fire. I have a full level character. This is a 466, which is a max level character. This character also will heal. So if he just takes one shot and doesn't take another shot within like 5 seconds, he probably will not take damage. But of course, the arbalist will do a lot of damage, and so you don't want that damage may come into factor. I've had problems with the arbalist there. A lot of times it's nice if he comes down. See, I'm waiting for him to stand up now because I didn't want to take a chance of missing the headshot there. And see how I'm coming down onto him? Make sure that it's counted as a headshot. Now he got a good shot on me there, but see, because of the skills, I think those are the new skills that came out with patch 1.30. That he kind of heals himself if Eivor doesn't get hit within 5 minutes. So the arbalist, and then there's also this guy that we're going to see pretty soon. There's a shield guy who is quite difficult. That you have to worry about doing damage, but most of them will not do damage if they're not shooting fire. But the two that are coming up, there's the dude with the shield and the sword, and then there's also a guy with fire. For these guys, okay, so I'm going to jump up here, and then I'm going to run across, and then I'm going to use, so there's the guy with the fire arrows up top, and I just ran past the guy with the shield. And he's a high-level guy, the guy with the shield. And I'm using the nornir here. And I don't use nornir normally. This ability with this thing is because it tends to spam shots, and you're really worried here about spamming shots in the wrong parts of the bodies and killing them the wrong way. But I was able to get both of them with the focus of the nornir. Get headshots and then their weak points. So I was fairly lucky, although I think maybe the guy's still alive. So I'm just checking here. It's a good thing to pause it. You go to the menu button and then you just pause it and see if you made the shots or not if you don't see it flash. But yeah, they're both there. So that's good. Now preferably you stay back there, and there's a 3 guys up the other way. Maybe I'll turn around and go back to them. But maybe I'll go this way. So you can do either one, but it's probably quicker if you go back through. Yeah, so I changed my mind here. And so you climb back up here where the shield guy and the fire arrow guy were, where we used the focus of Nornir, and where the fire arrow guy was sitting there, you climb up, and then there's the 3. And the 3 up here are pretty easy. They're a lot easier than the beginning sequence because they typically are not going to do much damage, and they just shoot arrows, and you can get at least one of their weak points without them seeing you most times. Alright, so we're trying to get his arm there. So we got his arm. Careful with the headshot. You just want to make sure it. I find that a lot of the headshots are bugged, even if they're really good. So you need those extra 2 people, and even then it's a little dicey. For this run, I think I got 15 out of 15, but it stops counting after you get 13 weak points and 13 headshots. Okay, and it's actually better with the archers if they climb up and get close to you, usually, because you can shoot their weak points a bit easier if you get the right angle. Although, that one guy that stands alone at the beginning, he hides his weak point, so you might have to move around to get to see the weak point. And we're not so worried about getting hit here. We just want to make sure we get his weak point and hurt him. See, I think I missed his weak point right there. Looking a little dicey here. Can I get his weak point without killing him? So I'm taking my time, taking the hits. There we go. Okay, and then the headshot, and I got lucky there that the weak point didn't kill him. But for some reason, sometimes you get lucky. Usually I'm not. Okay. And I think the other thing that you want to really avoid is fire arrows. So I think a real problem with this, and this is the reason why this was the last gold medal for the wolf challenges for me, was that the fire arrow guys at the beginning for mostly was burning up the other guys. So I had to be really careful the way that I approached the first fire arrow dude at the beginning, and it's really bugged there. And indeed, I had my earlier gold medal run for this. One of the guys spawned. One of the 15 guys spawned under the ground, and it was impossible to get him, and it was impossible to complete the run. So there's gonna be problems. Okay, so this guy, he's not fairly easy. You climb up there and you can surprise him. See how I waited until he stood up to do the headshot, because I didn't have a great shot on his head. It was potentially, the game might have said that I missed his head and hit him in another part of his body. So you want to just be very careful with the headshots. And so it's better to take your time with this than it is to rush it, because the penalty for missing a headshot is huge. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do got his head, and are we at the last 2 here? I think we're at the last 2, and so this is just gravy, I think. But we're gonna do it right. So, oh no, so that wasn't the last 2. So there's, but that is the 13th weak point, and that should be the 13th headshot. Okay, so there we go. So we just have to kill the remainder of the guards, but get our 14th weak point. You know, they're not doing any damage at all there because of the barrier. So So I'm just checking that I've got the full score, so we just need to kill the remaining 2 guys. And then first headshot is not enough to kill him, then the second one. So sometimes if you play Valhalla, normally, at least for me, headshots almost always are death shots. So there's the last guy. I'm going to have to climb up to him. And then but in this, sometimes you have to do multiple headshots, especially with the yeoman's shield guy, that you're going to have to do. You may have to do multiple headshots on him. But we were lucky to take him out. Now, you can't climb up this, but you can climb up the side here. And there's a spot. Now, I won't be able to get on the same thing. I think he was just hiding back there where when I shot those guys. I don't know. But there, I think I got his weak point. It's hard to say for sure. He's acting like I got his weak point. And then we'll do this. And didn't matter. That was 15 for 15. I would have taken 13 for 15 any other time, but that was the perfect run. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think the big thing with these things is, just get all the silvers and bronzes you need to complete the quest, and then come back to these so you can get, the more materials, so you can buy stuff from Hildebrand's store. But just complete the quest and then come back to it. There's no penalty for coming back to it. You get the same amount of rewards if you complete the quest, and then you can come back at it any time you want. So I think that's one of the things that's just not really explained quite well. That do you have to do it right before you turn in the quest? And the answer is no. You can keep on coming back. You can see I got more bronzes. I've completed actually Hildebrand's quest, but I can still go back to the mastery challenges and try for the silvers and the golds.